Welcome to this AlphaCam Express presentation on automation using machining styles. We will explain how machining styles can be used to order and automate the application of toolpaths and your production. For this presentation, we're going to assume that we produce MDF doors, lots of different designs using lots of different tooling profiles. However, if you look on the left hand side there, that tool I only ever want to be an external profile, and the one on the right I only ever want to use as an internal profile. Now it's maybe 6 months since I last used that tool, and my customer was very happy with that, and now he's come back and requested some additional doors. However, the guy who created the programs last time is not in today, so I've got to reapply these toolpaths, and I will do that through the rough and finish process. However, I can't remember whether I put in -18. Well, I didn't do it last time. I think he put the feed speeds at maybe 6 meters a minute, and probably the spindle speed was 18,000. I think he probably put a lead in, lead out, but we'll just have to have a try. Now, using machining styles, I could have grouped this combination of profile number 1 for the external and profile number 3 for the internal and given them a name. I've given this door design using those two tools the name Rome. Then we save that combination as a machining style called Rome. Now my customer has come back to me and he said, yeah, great, last time, but I'd like you to reproduce the same quality on these 6 other door designs. So using this machining style Rome, I'm going to reproduce the 6 doors you can see there in the center of the screen. So we'll load our drawing, layered doors nested, come into the project manager, machining styles, under Rome. We look there, it tells me it's got profile 3 and profile 1. Right click and apply that to those selected geometries. If we then come into simulation, we can see that applying the toolpaths automatically. We're going to focus on these 4 tools. Number 1 and 2 we only ever want to do an external, and 3 and 4 we want to do internals. But I might want the combination of 1 with 3, 1 with 4, 2 with 3 and 2 with 4. And for that then I've created a series of machining styles and named them doors London, Madrid, Paris and Rome. So we'll just undo those toolpaths, we'll come back and we'll apply Rome to the same doors. And then we've got a different combination. If we look in the operations list, we're using profile number 4 and number 1. We'll undo that, come back into machining styles and we'll apply Madrid. Under the operations page, that is a combination of profile number 2 and profile number 4. Automatically applied, all the correct feeds and speeds and depth of cut applied to all those doors, ensuring the quality is the same. So now we understand what machining styles can do for us, we're going to explain how you create your own layered machining styles. So we have this door with 2 geometries on there, one for the external, one for the internal, just drawn as general geometries. The tool directions have already been set, so we'll select our tool. I want to use this external tool, we'll accept that, and then we'll put a rough and finish pass around this. And I think the feeds and speeds should probably be okay. Yeah, they look alright with an automatic lead in, lead out. We look in the operation, we've got that first. We'll then come back in, select another tool, profile number 3, and we'll come back through this process. This time I want the depth to be maybe -8. Okay to that. And we can simulate that, and there's our door. However, I'd like to automatically apply those, so if I come into the operations, I can right click on the operation and save as a new style. So I'm going to save that away as, underneath my Express doors, we'll save this as New York. Under the project manager page now, the machining styles, I can then select my New York machining style and apply that to the geometries. Oops, however I've applied that to the internal when I really wanted it to do the external. So I'd like to automate this so I don't have to think and it does it automatically for me. The way we control that is using layers. So under the layer page, I'm going to then add 2 layers. My first layer is going to be called external, and we'll change the color of that to be this dark green, and I'll just change that so we see it a little better. And also then we'll add another one, we'll call this internal. We'll change the color again on that. Okay, now these 2 geometries, that's the external, so I can click, drag and drop that, and also then the internal, drag and drop that. If I then come back into my machining style and right click on this operation, there's an option there of assign layer for geometries. So when I click that, it then recognizes these 2 layers that we just created, and I want that one to be the external. Okay, we'll then come back into our operations, we'll right click on the internal one and we'll say add to existing style. The existing style is New York. We'll come into our New York machining style, right click on the internal one and then assign the layers for that one, which is going to be internal. So I'm just going to delete all toolpaths off this drawing and then come back into my New York and say apply to selected geometries. We can then look in the operations and it's then created for me profile number 1 followed by profile number 2, and we can simulate that. Slow that down a little because I think they may have an issue. Yeah. Now I'd like it to always machine the internal before the external, so we'll just undo that. We'll come back into our machining style, click on the operation number 1 and then use this little down arrow and reorder them. I can then right click on the New York and apply to selected geometries, simulate, and now we'll see it automatically puts the toolpaths in the correct order. So with using machining styled and layered geometries, we can also automate the order in the operations, ensuring that we put the operations in the right order. We can ensure that we put the correct feeds and speeds, and we maintain the quality of all our products. So I've got my 6 doors. The customer wants my new door style, New York, applying to them, so I apply that to the selected geometries. This concludes the AlphaCam Express presentation on automation using machining styles. We've showed how you can order and automate the application of toolpaths within AlphaCam. Any operation can be saved as a machining style, then reapplied to any other geometry. You can further automate if you use layered geometries. Thank you for your time.